My name is Lucky 46, cause I'm from the streets. For the 6, roll the dice, Ludo King. From the streets, got a code for the 6.
You're all under. I said the back down, Manuko, with your hands in the air. How could you? How could I be so...
Let me tell you something. Let me give you a little piece of information. If you're not using, honey, you are losing.
Nfake vakokwan, Floristo, Baman, Bramaika, funeral cover ya Meya Asapul.
Tilangutana na dona la mutini.
Tiyiselani. Ya yima madam Zara tamranziwe. Ijole mani khoma phone yami sen.
Ayingolabula na Colin.
Nasitoko na Colin. Colin ngena kwenda ukukho lesina kushayiswa.
So in LA, yes, I met a lot of people. Young Ma, I met Chris Brown. I didn't meet them, but I saw them, within my, So,
breezy, bro.
Yo, I almost died. Oh my God! I had such a groupie moment, bro. I won't lie. I was like, yo, I almost fainted. Yeah. I met Soulja Boy, Tyrese. I was in Tyrese's home. There are a lot of these celebrities have like mansion parties where they just invite like local.
Good morning, afternoon, evening. This is the boy that you should believe in, dropping here in every episode. This is 12 Channel 46. I'm your host, Giyani. We're back with another one. Make sure that you hit the subscribe and like button and comment down below. Today, I'm with a very special guest. She goes by the name of Nyeleti Khoza, and you guys know her as Tiyiselani from Giyani Land of Blood. And I'm just gonna run through her bio real quick.
Hello, hi, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for putting through.
You're welcome. What you're doing is very dope. Yeah, proper things. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Our guest here, apparently after falling in love with a live performance while portraying the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz, she fell in love with acting, and she appeared in the show called Real as a guest among the crowd. Her very first role was Mbungeni of Woza Albert in 2016. So this is all true, right?
Yes, well done. Thank you for doing the research. I love that. Yeah.
Appeared on Insecure season 2 and appeared as a museum goer. She then got a lead role in a web series called Black Tea as Tanya the Bad Girl. Yeah. She also appeared in Netflix film called Soweto Blaze.
Coming soon. Yes.
Alright. And she was booked to appear in a music video with Moses Sumney in a song called Doomed. She then signed a contract for her first touring production of Heritage, and finally, she was featured in Bounty Hunter D's and Pretty Woman Bad Attitude, which has over 1.4 million views in YouTube. I present to you Nyeleti Khoza.
I like it. I love it. I want some more.
So, I just want to dive into the first question.
Yes, let's get it.
Nyeleti Khoza?
Nyeleti Khoza, currently at the States, is a 28-year-old actress, director, and producer, and law student. Lord.
So you're doing law, right?
Yeah, I just registered. I registered 2 years ago. Last year I had to leave for 6 months because I was shooting Soweto Blaze. So I got too busy. But I decided to re-register again via UNISA LLB. I want to do entertainment law. So like copyrights, more of the business of entertainment. I'm not going away from entertainment. I don't want to be a consultant or like a law practitioner in criminal or conveyancing. I want to do entertainment law. So yeah.
So if I'm a rapper, for instance,
exactly,
or someone who's working in the music industry, I'm coming up in the township and I need a lawyer to settle up the copyrights, the rights to the music, I should be able to call you.
Hit me up. I can definitely help with that, but in 2 years' time. Yes, when I graduate. Right now, I'm still a student, and I guess it would be illegal for me to practice without having graduated. But in 2 years' time, definitely, I'll be representing artists, rappers, musicians, actors, producers, directors.
Yeah, that's really dope.
Yeah.
That you went back and stuff and pursued anything that is in line with what you want to pursue.
Yeah, life is very long, and one thing I've realized about the entertainment industry is that it's also a very fickle industry.
Yeah.
You're hot 1 minute, the next minute you're not.
Yeah.
So you always want to not necessarily have a backup plan, because if you have a backup plan, you don't really believe in what you're doing,
Yeah.
but to have multiple streams of income. Not only am I acting, not only am I producing, but I'm also giving legal advice to entertainers.
That's really dope.
Yeah.
How was your childhood and upbringing?
I mean, you know this. We grew up together. We're cousins. We're
I know
cousins.
this very well.
Yeah.
I know this very well. But for the people at home,
Yeah.
or wherever they're streaming this, just tell us a little bit about your childhood.
So I grew up in Hazelview.
Mhm.
My childhood was really amazing. It was a childhood, playing outside, riding four-wheelers, bikes,
Yeah.
scratching our knees,
Yeah.
eating mangoes under trees,
Yeah.
visiting my cousin's house because it was the house to be in December.
It was always lit.
Yeah, it was always lit. It was the time of our lives. Just come here and be cousins, The house, we're sleeping on the floor, we're eating mangoes, we're eating meats.
Yeah.
Parents are hosting us, there's music playing. It was a very beautiful childhood, yeah. Yeah.
So, within your childhood, when did your love for acting really spark?
You know that advert, the Cremora one, where they say it's not inside, it's on top. You probably don't remember it because you're a baby, but maybe maybe some audience members. So that was my first interest with TV. I was like, oh, whatever they're doing, I'm interested in it. This has caught my attention. And then obviously when I started watching Harry Potter and reading the books in grade 3, in 2003, I also fell in love with it, reading. And then when I saw the movie, I was like, oh my gosh, they can make what we're reading into something that we can see.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do it. Whatever it is that they're doing, I want to do it.
Yeah.
And then in grade 5, like you read in my bio, I got my first role in a play as the Wicked Witch of the West. I got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
And then that's how I was like, oh, I'm actually good at this. I can do this. Yeah.
So that's when in grade 5.
Yes, in grade 5.
So which role did you play in if you still remember that?
I was the Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Is it true that you saved 100k as a store assistant to pursue your acting career?
Definitely, it is true. So back in the day when the economy was good and people were getting 20, 30,000 Rand salaries easily, I worked for a store called Akajo, and I was an admin specialist. So I was one of the leaders or the managers. So I was getting a very decent salary. My living costs were like 5,000-6,000 Rand. My rent was like 3K. Living was like 3. And I just saved like 20,000, 15,000, 12,000 every other month over a year and a half. And then
that was it.
And then I left.
That means that the economy is really in bad shape because you can barely do that.
No, now people are earning like 12,000, 6,000, 7.5. The economy is really bad. But back then it was good.
Yeah. Which schools did you attend?
So I went to Uplands my whole life from grade 00 up until matric. Uplands College. Represent.
Yeah. So take us back, man. After Uplands, you graduate high school.
Yeah.
Then where to from there?
So in grade 11, so the whole time in high school, I thought I was going to do law.
Yeah.
And then in grade 11, the school that I went to, the varsity, the New York Film Academy, came to South Africa and they were doing auditions. Yeah. So I auditioned for them and then I got a scholarship. Yeah. Doing a Shakespeare stand-up thing.
Yeah.
And then I decided, I was like, okay, shucks, let me just go.
Yeah.
Can I swear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's a podcast.
Okay. Hey, maybe underage, you never know.
Yeah, nah, it's cool.
So I was like, oh shit, man, let me just go overseas. I got this young scholarship. I've always wanted to do acting. A lot of people try to speak me out of it. My drama teacher herself was like, no, you can do it here in South Africa. My parents were like, no, just study law first, then you'll go do acting. But I was like, no, guys, I've got the scholarship. It's only due for next year or 2013. I can't use it any other year. Let me just go. So right after high school, I went straight to New York, and it was the time of my life.
So when you got there, the very first day to the very first last day you were there, how was it like? Is it any different from South Africa? New York?
Yeah, I know. I mean, listen, New York is very functional. Things work there 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the first day I got there, I was really overwhelmed because there was cars, there was hooting, but it reminded me of Joburg a bit, just on a larger scale.
Yeah.
But it was really nice. It was very practical. I mean, after you could wake up at 2 a.m. and say, I want to go get sushi down the road. And there would be a market open with sushi and whatever you want to eat. But it's like the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
And then another nice thing is when I first moved to New York, one of my friends, Palesa, was there with her family on holiday. So they kind of helped me adjust, and it was nice to have them there for like 7-8 days. I was
Yeah.
spending a lot of time with them at their hotel, going back to my hotel flat.
Yeah. So while in New York studying for acting and stuff like that, who are some of the people that you met up with? Maybe
In
prominent figures or something like that.
in New York,
Yeah. I know back then there was a post you were with young M.A.
that was in LA.
Yeah?
That was in LA.
Yeah, that
Yes,
was in LA.
yes.
Oh,
In New York, I didn't really meet many people.
Yeah.
I met a lot of theater, Broadway kind of celebrities.
Yeah.
And then after New York, I came back to South Africa, right?
Yeah.
That's when I worked for Akajo. Then I went to LA.
Oh.
So in LA, yes, I met a lot of people. Young Ma, I met Chris Brown.
Yeah.
I didn't meet them, but I saw them, you know, it within my,
yeah.
So,
See breezy, bro.
yo, I almost died.
See breezy.
Oh my God! I had such a
Yo,
groupie
bro.
moment, bro. I
Yeah,
won't lie. I was
yeah.
like, yo, I almost fainted.
Yeah.
I met Soldier Boy.
Soulja Boy, yeah.
Tyrese. I was in Tyrese's home. There was like a lot of these celebrities have like mansion parties where they just
Yeah.
invite like local and young up and coming artists that are like
Yeah.
pushing. So
Yeah.
for like networking and stuff. So
Yeah.
I was in a few people's homes for like mansion parties and stuff. Would see them there, you know, not necessarily that. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
seeing them there, it does kind of give you a sense of hope that one day you'll be there.
It really gave me hope. I
Yeah.
won't lie, and it made me realize that no man, this thing is closer than.
Yeah. I think it is.
Yeah.
So the next question is about being starstruck. And you just talked about Sea Breezy right
Yeah.
now. I'm starstruck just trying to hear from that.
Yeah.
That you actually met him. No, you actually
Saw him.
Yeah.
I also saw Frank Ocean,
Yeah.
which was like such a trip for me because he looked like such a regular, handsome black man, but he just looked so regular. So when I saw him, I was like, oh, it's Frank Ocean. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So it would happen every other day, to be honest with you, because I lived in North Hollywood. So Hollywood and the Hills is where a lot of the celebrities live. So we'd go hiking there just to like bump into them.
Yeah.
So I would bump into like a lot of people. I bumped into Monique, the
Yeah.
big comedian
Yeah,
girl,
yeah.
woman. Who else did I see? I saw a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was on a regular that you would bump into these people and stuff like that. So when just like young Ma,
Yeah.
when asking for a picture, do they say anything else or they just take a picture and bye? And stuff like
So most of the time they don't agree. The only reason why I was able to get a picture with Young Ma is because is it Young Ma or Young M.A? I don't know. Yeah.
that? I don't even know. I just switched it up because you said young Ma.
Oh, okay. I don't know. But yeah, Young M.A, Young Ma. I was actually working as a photographer at an event.
Yeah.
So that's how she agreed to take a picture with me. But usually they say no. If you see them in the streets,
Yeah.
they have their bodyguards like 2 meters away from them. You can't even approach them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your famous role as Tiyiselani in Giyani Land of Blood. How did that role come about?
That role was like sent from heaven. So truly, if I could know, they answered the prayers. I came back from LA and I was just like, yo, what am I going to do? You know, I was supposed to stay in LA, but then Trump started changing laws. That, and that happened. You had to come back. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to fight with these people to try to stay in their country. Let me just come home, you know? And I auditioned. I got into an agency called M.A, which I'm still with, Munyan Lee. And I auditioned and I got the role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it possible for an actor to act without an agency?
It's not possible. It is possible, but it's not. Because you're probably going to get scammed a lot, number one. Number two, most auditions, they need you to be represented by somebody when you get there. So if you don't have representation, they usually don't take you and don't pay for representation. Yeah, you don't pay for that. It's a scam if you have to pay. Yeah.
So do you have any crazy stories regarding agencies? Some actors, I mean, I watch a lot of podcasts and when I watch a lot of actors being interviewed, they talk about being scammed.
Yeah.
Maybe the agency, so-called agency, gives you an address to an empty building, you get there and nothing and stuff like that. So do you have any crazy stories regarding agencies and stuff like that?
Yeah, when I first started, there was an agency. I wouldn't say their name because they're still functioning till this day, but they made me pay like 800 Rand. Imagine paying 800 Rand 6 years ago. That's a lot of money,
That's
bruh.
a lot of money, 6 years ago.
Yeah. So that happened to me, but then I wised up real quick and I was like, nah, this is not how it is. And then thankfully I bumped into, may her soul rest in peace, the owner of my agency, Munyin, at where did we bump into each other? At a theater play. And then I spoke to her, like, straight up. I was like, can I please join your agency? You know, I just came back from the States. I've been running around trying to find a good agent. I'm getting scammed up and down. And then she was like, come to the building, come to the office Monday. We audition you. And then I got it. Yeah.
So, what are some of the skills that you acquired from the States that you wouldn't have really acquired around here?
I think the South African entertainment industry is actually at a very good state right now, and it's in a very good place. But back then, I would say I acquired a lot of professionalism on set. I acquired stamina to work long hours, which is what the entertainment industry is. Because even when we were shooting Insecure, we were on set for like 18 hours. 18 hours for like 7 days straight. Because they were...
For which Giyani Land of Blood or Soweto place?
No, for Insecure in the States.
Insecure.
Yes.
In the States.
Yes.
18 hours on set.
For 7 days straight, bruh. So you go home, you sleep for like 4 hours, you wake up, you sit an hour in traffic, you get to set, and then you're there the whole day. And night and morning.
So when it comes to stamina and having the strength to push through. So do you think there's a difference between the hours between the States and here?
No, there's no difference. I think entertainment overall is long hours, but I think in the States they go even longer. I don't know what law they are working with, but they can literally work until 3, 4 in the morning. Unlike in South Africa, when it gets to a certain time, the set has to shut down. There's no more overtime. It's just completely illegal. But in America, I think because they have the budget too, they will pay you like quadruple the amount to stay until 3, 4 in the morning. So that doesn't happen here. Or I haven't experienced it as yet.
So when on set, if everybody gets their roles right and their scripts right, do you guys get an every day?
Never. Yo.
Do you guys continue shooting?
Let me tell you, these producers are ruthless. Yo, they are ruthless. They will make sure if there's ever like extra time or whatever, we are working. We are shooting. If we finish early, we start tomorrow's work today. Kind of thing. There's no
so
like
there's
off
no
day.
Extra outlet or something like that.
No.
And that's just it. Is it only in SA or even back then if you guys got extra time?
Like extra time off or?
Extra time off.
I mean, we do get time off. It's illegal, right? To let people work 24/7, 7 days a week. We usually do get a day off. But what I'm saying is if we do finish early, we will not wrap early. We will usually try to work and do maybe tomorrow's scenes and start shooting. So
what are some of the differences in terms of personality between Nyeleti Khoza and some of the roles that you played? Let's say Tiyiselani.
Tiyiselani, because I think it's the most prominent role I've played, right? Obviously, we're completely different. Tiyiselani was, I wouldn't say humble, that I'm not humble, but she was more humble, family orientated, just like wants her husband, wants her career, wants to like a 9 to 5. So we're completely opposite in that regard, because I'm like a go-getter, I'm out there, I'm outspoken. And so we're completely different in that sense, which is great because you don't ever want to play yourself. Then you're not acting.
So is it hard to switch on the acting side of yourself and coming back to being you?
No, it's not hard. I would say school definitely helped. We were taught a whole bunch of techniques. Your Meisner, your Stanislavski. These are all very like actor jargon. But we were taught certain techniques, how to get into a character and how to get out again. That's why the guy that played the Joker killed himself, because he was so much into that character that he couldn't get out of it again. And
so it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Out of a character.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. There's a technique called the Meisner technique, where you truly believe that you're that person. I try not to use that technique, because especially when it comes to very deep roles. I haven't played very deep, dark roles. I'm hoping to.
Let's talk about roles, man. What are some of the hardest roles you've ever been required to do?
I've been very lucky that I've always had roles that have easily fallen onto my lap. I think that's why I audition and then I get them easily, because it's easy for me to get into that character. Even like with adverts and stuff, just playing a certain person, it's always been very easy for me to get in and out of those characters. So I'm hoping and praying that in the future I'll get some very difficult roles. Yeah, that will take me out of this world.
What are some of the roles that you're hoping to get?
I think like a psychotic person, a
Ooh,
killer,
that would be dope.
like an abuser,
Yeah.
you know, like just things that have nothing to do and I've never experienced in my personal life either. And it would be very difficult for me to, yeah.
What are some of, how is it like to be on set with some of the greatest actors and stuff like that?
It was really amazing. I mean, Mam Ngobo. Yeah, she's one of the nicest people I've ever met. Till this day, she still keeps in contact with me. Obviously, Mam Yvonne Chaka Chaka. Super, super kind. You know, you would think that these people are going to be divas or like out of pocket. They were the ones that were actually putting people in place that were being divas on set. They were the ones that were like, no, guys, this is not how you treat people. You know, like correcting the producers, like, no. Talk to people nicely. So it was really nice working with them, and it just gave me perspective that no matter how successful you are, you just stay humble. Stay humble.
And that's the ingredient to success.
Exactly.
I just want to dive into you as an actor. If you're on set, who are some of the actors that became more than a colleague to you, maybe like a friend, and you still keep in contact with even to this day?
Definitely my 2 or 3 comrades, 4 actually, from Giyani. Wise Man Zita, Matabo Bila, Tsusheko, and Khoza. Why am I forgetting his name? And I love him so much. Don't kill me. Khoza. So those are like the people that I'm still cool with. Till this day, we're friends. We hung out. After Leslie. That I still hung out with after Giyani. They were definitely, we were friends. We are friends,
So after you shot Giyani, you've been on your own track now. You're the director of your own film production.
Yes.
What can you really expect?
Should I hide this brand?
I don't know. I think I'll just blur it out.
So I can drink normally.
I think I'll blur it out.
Sorry, you said what? Please repeat the question.
You're a director of your own company right
Yes.
now. And what can you expect coming from you?
So we just shot a a short film rather, beginning of last year. Like anything that you do for the first time, I'm not 100% happy with it. But I'm gonna release it. I'm actually looking for distribution. I have a few people that I've looked at contracts with them, and I'm like, I'd have to sell my product for good, and that's what I don't like. But definitely look out for amazing feature films. You know, I'm gunning for your Sariti Films kind of people, the people that do How to Ruin Christmas, that production. So I'm gunning for those kind of productions, those high quality comedy, drama, high end international suspense. So currently we're in pre-production for a film called Road Trip to Hell. It's a horror. Yes. So we just finished the script for that. We're probably going to start shooting in June because it's better to shoot when it's not raining and cold. So definitely look out for amazing content, feature films, proper feature films.
Directly from you.
Yes.
What would you say to someone who's looking up to pursue acting right now?
I would say look at the business of acting, not just acting, because a lot of people just want to be on TV. A lot of people just want the fame. A lot of people just want the glitz and the glams and to be known. But I think outside of that, also have a plan as to how are you going to use, once you become an actor and once you blow up, because you're going to chase your dreams and you're going to get what you want, right, in this life. Have a plan. How are you going to make it more than just acting? The business of it. How are you going to make it a business and become a business person within the field? Because a lot of the times, in South Africa, we see a lot of actors are struggling financially. People die poor. There's just a whole lot of, because they focused, which is fair, because they focus purely on the art of just acting, which is like, okay, that would be great in America because you get royalties. Unfortunately, here we don't get royalties. Performers, actors bill, please. Performance protection bill. They need to sign that bill so that actors can get their royalties so we can focus on acting alone. But until that is signed, I would say to people that want to pursue acting, pursue the business of it also, not just acting, so that you don't die poor.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
We see a lot of actors go through the most.
Yeah.
Because of the acting industry and sometimes personal problems.
Yeah.
What's your take on the acting atmosphere or the environment in SA right now?
Yeah, the environment is I mean, it's a very fickle industry. Like I said, if you're hot now, if you're not hot right now, on to the next thing, you know? They're always looking for the hot young girl, the hot young man, and they'll use you, and then once you're done, they put you to the side and bring on someone else. So that's why I said focus on the business, so that when you're no longer hot and heavy, you still have some kind of money coming in. Because you can make a lot of money while you're hot and heavy, but as soon as it's done, it's done. And there's no royalties, there's nobody calling you to be like, oh, we've got a young gig for you. They've moved on to the next thing. So it's a very fickle industry. I mean, producers also, which I understand now that I'm getting into the business, but I think I would change that on my end. Producers, are very, it's sharks in the water, hey? Yeah, sharks in the water.
So, can you please elaborate on the producer-actor system?
Yes.
It starts from the producer. The producer is the one that decides on how the show is going to run, who gets paid and stuff like that. So the actors need agencies to claim that money.
Exactly.
Is that how it is?
Exactly. Producers are the ones that run the entire show, and there's different types of producers. There's a line producer. There's what other producers are there? Like a production manager. That's also part of like producing. So there's like different scopes. I can't think right now. I just went completely blank. But there's different levels to producing, right? And then they're the ones that will go out and look for the cast and the crew. For example, the line producer, he hires everyone because the line producer deals with the money. Then you as an actor, you go through your agency to get that job, and you usually go through a casting director. That person is the one that's going to get you the gig, or cast you, rather pick you and say, okay, we have picked you. Once they've picked you, then usually your agency and the line producers will be the one that are communicating and be like, okay, we've got one Nyeleti, she's charging this much, we have this much, is it okay? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
So, what's your take on TikTokers, or rather people that are on social media that have started these accounts and now they have like big followings, and then now branch out to acting without going to any form of school?
I mean, look, for me, I'm a thespian at heart, and I believe in going to acting school. But I also believe that social media has allowed for a lot of people's creativity to play out. And I think if you're constantly working and playing towards something, you will put in your 10,000 hours and you will become good at it. So I'm not knocking the social media and the TikTok people that are constantly every day setting up their mics, setting up their cameras to act, to put on a show. Eventually they will master their craft, even if they don't go to school. But the beauty of going to school is that you understand the discipline and you understand the hierarchy and you understand the business. So you won't just be focused on the acting. But I think it's beautiful, man. I think it's beautiful how social media has allowed a lot of people that acting school is also very expensive. Your parents would look at you and be like, you'd rather go to
start that Instagram account.
Right. So I love it for them, and I think keep going. Social media, I'm big on social media, like for pushing people. Social media has changed a lot of people's lives. And I would never be like, no, just because you're a TikToker, you're not an actor. I mean, you've been acting for 3 years straight for us on social media, and we've been laughing. So you're an actor.
Basically.
Yeah.
So I just want to go into the next question. What is next for you?
What's next for me? 2023, I've got a lot of hopes and dreams for my businesses. But in terms of acting, I want to do a lot of theater. I haven't done theater in years. I want to go back to theater. And again, money, theater doesn't pay that well and all of that. But I have businesses that I've been pushing that will fund me financially. But I want to go back to the core of acting and live performance.
So what is the difference between theater and mainstream acting?
So there's 3 disciplines. There's theater, there's television, and there's film. right? All three of them have a different way of performing. Theater is obviously loud, so it's more expressive. You have to project. It's more dramatic. TV, it's very structured. You know, TV, they'll tell you walk from there to there, and when you get to that line or that chair, you must say that line. By the time you're done that line, you must go back because it's usually like a set, and there's not much space. Film, I feel like that's where you're able to play a bit more. It's also like TV, but they usually let you just play around in the space that you have because it's usually outdoor or where there's more space, and then they'll hone it in and be like, okay, you can't go past this place, but you can do whatever it is that you wanted to do within this. Yeah. So
if I'm getting it correct, film is movie, right?
Yes, film is movies.
So the film is commercial and stuff like that.
Commercials, soapies.
The theater is the stage.
Live. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I'm out of questions.
Oh.
If there aren't any other questions, I would just like to thank you for putting through.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was a great interview.
Dude, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for putting me on this platform. I can't wait for the thousands of viewers on this episode to learn. And I think the only thing that I would say leaving or signing out would be follow your dreams, you know, but also be very strategic in how you do it. If you know the kind of background you come from, that you need to go to a school, do that, but use social media. You know, if you have the freedom or if you have the allowance to go chase your dreams in the entertainment industry, do that too. But also focus on the business.
Focus on the business. Highlight of the day.
Focus on the business. Guys, mali yalaveka. Laveka mali. Yeah. Yeah. It's only mine that I want. You never give me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been Nyeleti Khoza as our guest in Top Channel 46. Make sure that you hit the subscribe and like button and comment down below. And yeah, man, signing out. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, baby, it's 46.